Hey, Alex, want to start a rock band?
Oh yeah, be your dad. Only if you promise me we can make our hair bigger than Brett Michaels and we can make videos during Swedish avalanches.
My God.
Hey guys, it's your favorite final boy and girl, Alex and Emily, coming at you in a brand new episode of Gag Me with a Knife, a weekly podcast where we dissect, disembowel, and shred the best and worst slasher movies. This month has been renamed the Month of Blood, as our podcast will be highlighting slashers with blood in the title. For today's episode, we're going to be gagging on 1985's Blood Tracks. As always, Emily has the original and priceless VHS copy, so let's rock! And hear what the back of that box says.
Okay. After killing her abusive husband, a simple-minded woman takes her children into hiding for fear of the consequences of her actions. For years, they made their home in a cave on the side of a secluded mountain. Gradually, the family is reduced to a primitive existence, living on whatever they can find and kill. The existence of the family remains uninterrupted until a group of young people arrive on the mountain to shoot a music video. Now the family is threatened and fearful of the invaders. When a member of the group explores the cave, it's not a cave, okay, whatever, he meets with a gruesome death. The young group soon becomes suspended in a vortex of terror when, one by one, they're stalked by the crazed family of outcasts. 1985, another 1985. Great. The year we were born sucks. And also, I just want to say it's not a cave; it's a warehouse that they keep.
Well, it's not a warehouse; it's a power facility.
Oh yeah, they call it a factory. So.
They've carved out a little niche, like or whatever. It's kind of rockish. Like there's a little. They've like, I don't know, carved out a cave-ish, mountainy place to pieces, but the majority of it's like 95% this facility and 5% there's like rocks of where they sleep.
And I'm sorry, but like, just to get this out of the way, I don't think that 40 years would make. Is it 40 years?
That girl looks real good for 40 years. It's 40 years.
And also, that wouldn't make you become a freaking, like, whatever, like they are. You know,
isn't it this abandoned factory? Isn't it a power? It's a power place. So like there could be radiation.
I guess, and this movie really just wants to be
The Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes meets Spinal Tap. So I mean,
preach, girl.
Whatever. I mean, what's the deal with the beginning of this music video? Fall rolling down the hill. The song is okay. That's at the very beginning. We see our. We don't even know half their names, so we see the people that are the victims.
Oh yeah, we see. Yeah. What? Okay.
Well, okay. At the very beginning, we see the woman. I talked about it on the back of the box. This woman kill her husband, and then her and her little boy flee because she's afraid she's gonna get caught. I don't know how these others these other people got here, but the other I don't know. How'd she get pregnant again? Whatever. So anyway, your thoughts.
Well, I want to say before getting into the actual review. And
sorry, I was just like, I'm so confused. No, this movie's so confusing. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So before we get into the actual review, I just want to say it was hard for me to classify this as a slasher at first. It did just seem, as we talked about, like a Swedish Hills Have Eyes meets like Twisted Sister and Motley Crue or Spinal Tap, as you said. And there's nothing wrong there, as I love all those things. And but then when the movie is over, we end up with like 20 deaths, and I don't even know the names of most of them, which is obscene. And some of them are kind of cool and brutal. So I guess it ends up in the slasher genre for that. But I love the hair. I love the music. I love all that damn snow. And that's all I have for now. What are your like original thoughts before we start talking about how like the introduction scene that was kind of weird at first?
This one was a tough tough one for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I started it one day and I was like, I can't do this. And so I had to put it off till yesterday. And I was like, well, I have to watch this movie now. And I had seen it once before and was like, it's good to have in my collection, but I will never watch this again. Yeah, here we are.
Ah.
I just, and some of the scenes are so dark. Like the scenes in the factory are dark as hell, and it's like you can't see half of what's going on most of the time. But so these, I guess, I hated it. So I'll go ahead and give my rating. I give it 0.25, and that's only because I like the music in it. So,
oh my god,
yeah, it was the bottom of the barrel.
Well, I will say I was starting off that way with the 0.25 because at the very beginning, then we see this woman. She's in this like shack, and then all of a sudden, this guy walks in and slits her throat, and then he walks away, and then lo and behold, the woman's not dead, and I'm like, wait, why isn't she dead? So then she stabs him in the back, and then he walks in to her, and I'm like, wait. He's not dead either. And I'm like, why is nobody dying? Right. Then some rando walks in the house and yells, murderer! And then this girl grabs her 3 or 4 children and...
She just I thought she just had one at the beginning.
No, she grabs the entire Von Trapp family and she flees this, like, house. And then it goes 40 years later and there's this opening narration. And it's like The Year Without a Santa Claus or like Frosty the Snowman. And then boom, turns into a Swedish Poison sounding song. I mean, right? What's happening?
I really liked that song though.
I liked it, but tell me like that's a very 0.25 opening because I'm like, what the hell? And P.S. listeners, this movie, and nothing wrong with this, but as I got older, I actually enjoy subtitles. This movie is dubbed. So it's not terribly dubbed.
It's weirdly dubbed though because
sometimes it works.
No, the thing is that it's Swedish people trying to be American. They are actually, I watched their mouths. They're actually speaking English, but they overdubbed it, so it's just bizarre. But I guess it's because they had accents.
Yeah, because my husband, he's like, wow, I'm watching this. He's like, every now and then he was like, it's like a TikTok. Every now and then, like, the words match. They match the sounds. He was like,
well, it's kind of like in a bunch of Italian movies that they like. Well, sometimes they like, well, all of them, because sometimes they would have, 3 American actresses or actors, and then the other, like, some of them will be French a lot of times, but Italy was the place.
French.
And some of them would be Italian. So when you watch those movies, sometimes it lines up with what they're saying, and it's kind of like with that, it's kind of kitschy for me, and I like that if it's a good movie. But this, I really think they're speaking English the whole time, but they had to dub it because of their accents.
Yeah. And so, after she runs off with the Von Trapp family singers, and then after we see the opening narration of these big rigs and like this blood tracks, like this bop of a rock song.
Also, but before before they do that video, because they're trying to do a music video, I don't know what's happening, but like we're not
even at that. We're still not even at that yet.
Oh, we aren't?
No, we're still not to what you're talking about. I promise.
Okay.
So right after,
don't ask me because.
Yeah, I mean, so they're driving. The opening montage of the scene of them driving these trucks and tour buses to this song. We don't really know yet what's happening unless you've read the back of the box. It is about like a rock band going to make a music video, but lo and behold, the rock band making the music video is a real rock band. And Emily, what's their real name?
Shit. Easy Beats or something.
Easy Action.
Easy action.
But yeah.
And I've listened to some of their songs on YouTube, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So that's a good song.
Well, they also say that they shouldn't have done this movie, but
right, they should have done their own biopic or something, probably.
Yeah, they were like, we shouldn't have done that movie. They like say it. They're like, it probably ruined our career, but whatever.
It's probably like Cynthia Bailey was like, I shouldn't have done The Dark Tower, but here we are.
Oh my God, I tweeted at her again.
God, we're gonna get a hold of her, and I'm gonna drive down to her house.
Yeah, go to Lake Bailey.
So
and just like buzz in and say, hey, were you in the Dark Tower or not? I don't really we just want to know. Bye.
So right after the montage, the opening intro credits scene, we see this like older blonde man that he looks homeless and looks like, or he just doesn't look like he
doesn't belong.
Whatever to the movie, and he looks like Hulk Hogan with like 10 inches longer hair.
He kind of looks like he should be part. Like I thought maybe there could be a twist where he was actually part of that family.
No,
but there wasn't.
No, I'm talking about the guy in the family. Yeah, this is them. It's 40 years later.
Oh, you're talking about Charles.
I don't know what his name is. We already said we don't know names. He's the blonde haired homeless brother in this family. 40 years later.
I thought you were talking about this other guy. That's in the other side. That's like older.
No, but he's splashing his face with water like 3 times in a row, and he puts his hands in the bowl, and like when he moves his hands to his face, he moves his whole back. Like it's this weird motion, and if I can. And I was doing it when I was saying this. When this episode comes out, I'm going to try to record this and put it on our stories just so people can see like how obscene this looked. And I was like, who washes their face like that? Like they clearly, I don't know what this was about. And
Gag Me With Enough definitely needs a TikTok.
And yeah. And then I'm like, because I still didn't realize this was 40 years later. I was too confused by the Burl Ives narration at the beginning to realize it was 40 years later. So then I was like, who is this mutant mountain man in a fur coat? And why is he attacking this random man that looks like Saddam Hussein in a factory? Like I had no idea what was going on.
That happened before the music video?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then they land, and then, like, the next thing we see, they're all lined up. People are coming out of helicopters and buses, and now we're getting...
one girl looks like a Dorinda, by the way, just another housewife.
And somebody...
One of them looks like Dorinda.
And I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. One of them looks like Kajagoogoo.
You're really right.
Black roots and
it's like they couldn't decide if they were gonna be like a glam band or like half of them look like they're like an Echo and the Bunnymen, and then there's like some of the girls look like they're in Susie and the Banshees. I was like, y'all need to get your shit together.
Some of those girls 100% though do kitchen workouts. You can just tell.
Oh my God, all the time. And where else that's the best place to work out, clearly, from what we've learned in slasher movies.
When you see them all lining up.
I mean, only 2, but I mean.
When you realize they're about to film this video and you realize they're lining up, you can practically smell the Aquanet from all their hair. There's like a dozen of them. Yeah. And then the spandex, the leopard prints, the hairs, the thongs, the leotards. I just cannot.
Oh, and that one girl goes, I didn't know it was going to be crotchless. And the response was, well, what did you think? It's a designer. Like, that's not an answer. That's not an answer. That is not it is an answer, but it's not like.
Right. So
okay. Then I would have been like, bitch, I don't give a fuck.
One of the guys' names I know is Bob. He's their manager, and he's like, okay, time to start shooting the video. And then Emily, before they shoot, what happens while they're shooting, before they're shooting, or maybe it's part of the video that I think that you've been dying to say.
Oh, like where they're jump fall rolling down the hill.
Right? What is this?
I don't know. And then one of them goes, Jesus Saint Sebastian. What is that? Who is that? What saint is that? Does someone, if anyone knows, comment, like email us something, tell us who is Saint Sebastian. And also, you can't say Jesus Saint Sebastian. That doesn't even make sense.
Well, but I mean, Saint Sebastian is like a saint of archers and athletes, but
oh, it is? Okay.
But they're musicians. They're neither archers nor athletes.
I mean, I'm clearly not very religious, but I do know that you don't put Jesus with saint, right? You don't add Jesus to the beginning of a saint.
It's like maybe they were trying to say Jesus H Christ, and it
Or
just
like Jesus, Mary, and like Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, like people that say that.
Like Jesus, maybe it's Jesus, Mary, and Freddy Krueger. Who knows?
God, whatever.
But so when they were rolling down that hill, it was literal gold. I was screaming, and the
It
funny
was
thing
long
is,
too. I was like, "What the hell are you doing? Is this part of the video? Like, it doesn't look good."
it was kind of like, did they roll down the mountains or a hill in Princess Bride?
I don't know.
It might be that.
I've never. Sorry.
They just like, yeah, like she falls down or he falls down. Yeah. Anyway, it was like that. It was that long, but like it was literal gold. And their name, the band in the movie, we said it's Easy Action in real life, but their band name in the movie is Solid Gold. Yeah, we got that.
But then later on, they call it Easy Action.
Oh, well, they don't, honey. That was drugs and alcohol.
I know, because I was like, what is their real name? Because they've said two things.
Yeah,
they say Easy Action later on in the movie, because apparently those guys, like the people in the band, since they were a real band, they didn't know how to act. Clearly. And so they the crew had to constantly have them drunk. So through this whole movie, they're wasted.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and they're not just a little drunk, like they were wasted throughout.
Like, and I understand that since like back then, musicians didn't know how to act per se. That wasn't what they're hired to do. But even so, I will just say Tommy Lee from Motley Crue gives a much better performance in his porn tape with Pamela Anderson than these people do in this movie. I'm just saying.
I mean, and also, you know what they could have said when they asked him to do the movie? No. That's what happens. It's what happens with all these, like, you know, Terror on Tour, which I've realized that I'm not a fan of, like, rock and roll slashers. But they always get like, Terror on Tour got a real band. I think Trick or Treats has Ozzy Osbourne in it, I think. But they can't act. Yeah. So why would you just say no?
Well,
this isn't...
I think they did it because the girls were they girls in the band or were they just dancers?
I couldn't tell. I think
some were singing.
Either one of them is in the band, and the rest are like models, or all of them were like dancers.
One of them was singing for sure, but either way.
But I can't really tell because all those guys kind of look like girls too. So.
Yeah, I didn't know, and like so they just got drunk and they all got naked the whole movie. There was tits and ass and boy ass and sex and rock and roll. I mean, it was also, like, why not make a movie?
What about that avalanche scene that went on for like 30 minutes?
Okay, so
I mean, we get it. There was an avalanche. It goes on for so long.
There was a series of avalanches, which is also interesting.
I went and heated up food while it was happening.
I mean, hell, I literally mowed my 1 acre yard while it was happening. So I get you.
I went and got the mail, and that's a long.
I went to work, came home, took a nap, got drunk, played some video games, and looked back, and the avalanche was still happening. Like, yeah. So as a viewer, we clearly notice these avalanches are extreme and prolonged. But then, you know, the band and everybody's like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just. They're like, oh yeah.
I have the quote at 30. It's at 32 minutes. There's been an avalanche, and they see someone in the recording that, quote, doesn't want them there. Yet they say anyway. There's been an avalanche. You've seen someone that, like, you think is a shady character that could maybe murder you, and you don't think, okay, we got our shot, let's leave and like maybe do the rest in the studio.
Well, so two parts to that. The first part is they decide, screw the avalanches that are happening and this foreboding message, let's just go to this abandoned cabin, let's all get drunk and have sex.
And
meanwhile, Bob tells the cameraman, we don't have enough footage.
I thought it was Rob.
Bob's the manager's name.
I thought it was Rob the whole time, but
it's definitely Bob.
Okay, I believe you.
He sends Nick, the cameraman, back into he's like, you know what? We don't have enough footage. We're gonna need some like filler. Go into the facility down there, the factory.
Go home and do it in a studio
and film some stuff for this video while everyone else is getting drunk and having sex and partying.
Go film an abandoned studio with no one in it, abandoned factory with nobody in it. That's gonna be real good to add to this music video. I mean, what?
Yeah, well,
And
but,
like,
he makes it back. He makes it back.
Yeah,
We think he won't, but he does.
but they
Again, yeah, there's like 30 minutes of no kills.
They will not stop going into this like factory warehouse. They won't stop.
Well,
And that's like the only reason people are getting killed. And
the first few times they go in, everybody comes back out, and then they go back. Like, so they keep going in because the first few times nobody's dying.
Well, I'm saying like after you have a few people missing that have gone to the warehouse,
but at that point,
maybe stop fucking going there. And if you do, don't fucking split up, because that is what they're like.
We're jumping way ahead.
What are you doing? I'm just saying.
Too many people have gone in and come back, that a couple that went in, they just assume they're in there having sex. They really do. Like, there's not really a thing. Like, they don't think that there's a danger because nobody has seen the danger. And then, like, the biggest danger at this point that we have is during this avalanche,
avalanche? I mean, that's a pretty big fucking deal.
The other biggest danger during this avalanche is Mary and Pete leave and go out to the car to have sex. And then another avalanche happens, and they get buried in the car. And then, like, you think, oh, wow. I kept waiting for one of these, like, family members, this, like, homeless mutant family to, like, be in the car and, like, kill them or something. No, we still not that. They dig them out. Butt-ass naked. They're crawling out of this car. And I was like, well, that was a little anticlimactic. I wanted someone to die because no one's died for, like, a half hour at this point.
Yeah, and the acting is, like, the most... I don't think you've seen Fatal Pulse because it's but it's the most wooden acting I've seen since Fatal Pulse. Might be worse. I mean, it's wooden.
Speaking of that,
I mean, it might have to do with the dubbing, but you know.
I think the dubbing hurt this a lot. But speaking of that, like, you know, then Mary and Pete try to have sex. I don't know. It's later that night, and after the rescue, they're back inside, and he goes, "It's cold in here." And he closes the window. And I'm like, y'all were just all the way butt-ass naked in a car outside in the snow. And it's cold in there? And you just close a window? What? So, what?
At this point, though, something's starting to happen, because I wrote, why do they want to have sex during all this? Like, why do all these people, like later on when people are going missing and stuff, it's like, oh, well, let's have sex. It's just like, why do they want to have sex so bad? I'm sorry, but it's not that great.
Well, they're in a rock and roll band, and they just want to, like, fuck in the snow and during an avalanche. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
But finally, we're going to get to our fourth kill of the movie. His name's either Guy or Key. Anyway, he has his girlfriend in there, and he looks like Count Chocula, and then, like, puts these fake vampire teeth in his mouth and tries to scare his girl. And then while he's trying to scare her, this guy,
that's sexy.
Yeah, that's so sexy. I mean, if she's on a rag, then maybe his vampire appeal is sexy. I don't know. But the guy who then he's trying to kill her and hiding around a corner, and then this guy looking like Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs comes around, and the next thing you know, you just see his head rolling across the fucking floor. What?
Yeah, it was a horrible death. Like that. I mean, there were a few deaths that. See, you were able to pay attention more than I was because
because this is a professional thing that we're doing, and paying attention is what matters. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I tried really hard. I really did, but my neck's been fucked up, and I was really, really trying hard.
My neck's aching, my bra too tight. Okay, whatever.
That's actually true, but that's why I'm not wearing one right now. But you know, my neck. I told my neck is really bad right now, but I did pay attention mostly to it. Okay, I mean, I know this is professional, but like this was, it was the biggest chore of my life.
Well, speaking of necks, the next person who dies, which we can't get into all. Oh, these
well, what
details.
I was gonna say is I thought some of the deaths were pretty cool, but some of them, like that head decapitation, what the fuck? I mean, like, you didn't even, like, see anything but his head roll. And then...
Heads will roll!
Head, neck, with your head.
Yeah.
Dance till you're dead.
That's,
that's the A-track, the remix, whatever.
Is that the Yes?
Yeah.
Heads will roll.
I like that. I think it's A-Tracks.
The Glee remix. The Glee version on Halloween. God.
Oh
in
my
the middle
God.
of
With
whatever.
Thriller.
Yes, with
Oh
Thriller.
my
You know it,
God.
girl.
So
Sorry.
good.
In case y'all didn't know, Emily and I are also like closet. We're not closet. We're gleeks. Bye.
I mean, and for real, because I've watched that somewhere only we know video.
Somewhere only we. Sorry.
This
Speaking of Karen
could be
Chris.
the end of
Hey,
everything. Okay.
clap.
Anyway,
Back to the
I
movie.
watched it
Here
every
we
day like 10 times, and it makes me cry. Anyway, go back to the movie. Yeah. Sorry.
go. Oh, Darren Chris. Okay, next. Okay.
God,
So,
I know. Oh my God, I showed whatever. His
but
lip
speaking of next,
sync battle is really good too. Anyway,
the very next person that does die, his name is Nick, and he gets like set on fire and runs like a flaming maniac throughout the facility. But is there something is this a real person on fire? Did we talk about this, or did you tell me that he like this actor is really on fire? Like it's not like flame protecting or flame
I
retardant.
don't think he was really on fire.
I feel like somebody was really on fire. I feel like this was like an actual like real stunt. I feel like I read that somewhere because I think
looked at the trivia and I didn't find it.
it might have been a review that I read that was like, I'm giving a half a star extra because this guy literally set himself on fire for the movie.
I want to see what he looks like now.
But then we're about to get to my next death. People are walking around again. What Emily said earlier, they're coming and going. People are having sex out of this cabin. They're walking down into this factory, coming and going. I don't know what they're doing, like whatever. But then someone's looking for somebody else, and her name is Linda. Happen to know that.
I did know Linda.
And Bob, I know Bob. Bob walks into the room.
Clearly, I thought it was something else, but yes, I know Bob.
And Bob walks into the room, and this girl.
Who's the old guy though?
I don't know, the sheriff. I don't know his name. He's this old guy he looks like a gray-haired Lash LaRue.
I think he helps. Well, Lash LaRue had gray hair, but I think
stark white.
I think he's the one that helps Bob get the snow plow or the snow.
I mean, he's at the very end. This guy.
I mean, he's in a lot of it. He's in like the last like 30 minutes or something of it.
He's in the very end. He's in the very, very last 5 minutes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's in that part, but he's also talking to Bob a lot.
A lot. So yeah, Bob walks in and sees Linda like tied to the wall and like strapped to the wall in this weird position, which is crazy. And her mouth is covered and she's like going, like she's like trying to like say no. And it goes to his feet and it sees him like trip like a wire, like a booby trap. And then all of a sudden it's like, is this Jigsaw? What's going on? Because right when he hits this trip wire, we see these weights rising in the room. And all of a sudden this like saw like tears through the middle of her body, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like this movie is
liked that one.
It's my favorite death in the whole movie, and this movie is so hot and cold, but the hot parts are really, really hot. Like this is a really cool scene.
I think that the lighting in the factory
bad.
I mean, like there are scenes that you really can't see what's going on. So I think that like some of those deaths are probably better, but we just can't see them. But like when they were able to light it the right way, they look really good.
Yeah, and then all the girls here's how all the cast is. First of all, everyone's white, and then
it's Swedish, so
is whatever.
I mean,
it's American. Well, whatever. It's sweet. All the girls are everybody's white, and then they either have like brown hair that looks like Mary Carpenter. Is that Mary Carpenter? Susan Carpenter.
I think Tina Turner.
No, hold on. What's the Carpenter's
Karen?
Karen, Mary. Who the hell's Mary Carpenter? Karen Carpenter.
Your best friend.
There's like 3 of them that look like that, or the rest of them look like Bret Michaels and Kaja Gugu. Like, you don't know who.
There is one girl that has total Tina Turner vibes though, with her hair. And she's also I don't know who it is, but she is also wearing a Tina Turner dress, like a really sequiny dress, and it looks like it has like frills at the bottom, and a fur coat and heels.
We got some Tina here then.
And then she wonders why she can't run away.
Proud Mary, keep on keeping on.
Take off your heels, idiot.
Then somebody else goes in there, and like her name is Carrie, and then Carrie gets kidnapped by either Pizza Face McGee or Brother Hulk Hogan. Nobody knows.
And it makes no sense because why her.
Their killings. Well, so one of them. Okay, well, it does make sense. What are you gonna say? Doesn't make sense.
That they would keep one of them. Like, why wouldn't they just kill him?
Here's what makes sense about that. There of the children, one of the brothers does not want the killing to keep happening, but the other one does.
Yeah, the oldest one doesn't.
So the older one is not killing them at first. He's trying to stop the killing, and he's kidnapping them, which isn't any better. But he doesn't know what to do. And
because later on, because he's trying to take her to a safer place or something.
Yeah, he's like, come on, like let's restore peace. Like we were fine here by ourselves. You all kept coming in here, over the last 5 hours.
Get over it, dude.
But I don't know why the other brother or sister also keep killing. Like what?
I don't. None of that makes sense. It also doesn't make sense that they had a perfectly normal looking family in 40 years. I get the primitive stuff, but why would you start looking like a mutant for no reason?
I think it's the radiation in the factory, to be honest.
Oh, right. You said that earlier.
I'm assuming that. But I also understand, too.
It's abandoned, so they're not. Nothing's running.
But you still can't go to Chernobyl.
I mean, that's true.
They're still radioactive. So
I've been. I'm just kidding.
But what I'm also thinking is he is the oldest brother, and so he was old enough when he watched the whole. He watched his mom get her throat slashed, and he watched his mom stab some guy in the back, and the other two kids were too young to know what was going on. So I think he saw what happened with all this death. So yes, I'm trying to put like a little emotional Lifetime twist on this, because I do think that he had the right heart. And his mom definitely has the right heart, but his two younger kids.
She doesn't.
At first she does.
Well, later on she has a conversation with him how she's like, we have to kill him. We have to.
Well, because she's scared. I get it. But
also, she does not look like she
aged 40 years. She literally looks the exact same with dirt in her face.
Yeah, they just threw like dirt and like
a Jawa
coal. They put coal all over.
Yeah, she looks like Charlie Bucket's mom from Willy Wonka. God. Like, let's get out of here. But anyway,
didn't he take her to whatever?
Yeah, so Carrie should have
been able to go.
Carrie gets taken back to the lair while Nick is burning, and like now we see her escaping after, and then she's in this lair and she just like throws this like frying pan across this cave, hits a guy in the head and runs away, and then boom, she gets thrown over a ledge and impaled on by a spike. Like, what is going on? Right?
Right. I agree. Also, these killers are always like, whenever they walk around, they're always like tiptoeing around, like they're Tiny Tim tiptoeing around the damn tulips. I mean, they tiptoe everywhere, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I guess you're a mutant and all, but like, you look stupid
with that fur coat, and they're like spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah,
down your spine, and just tiptoeing. So then we flash back to the cabins. Pete and Mary, you know what? God fucking bless. I am so glad you all finally got to bone, because we've been waiting. This whole movie has been like sexual tension. An avalanche interrupted you. A party interrupted you. And honey, I am just so glad we finally saw y'all sex. And now, which is weird, he's going to pee after sex instead of her.
Yeah, UTI girl.
So he's going
bad. To pee. That makes me feel sick.
So that might be a cautionary tale. He should have been like, honey, go pee. Because when the man goes to pee, he went in there, he's peeing, he gets his throat slit. I'm just saying. Guy's in the bathroom and slits his throat after a post.
That's a poor cautionary tale, because the girl should have been going to the bathroom.
Well, then the girl gets killed right after. So, I mean, whatever. I guess they all die in the end. There is no cautionary tale.
Oh, did you also notice that there are 2 Dawn of the Dead references?
I did not.
Someone calls someone, since I don't know the names, a Flyboy. And then they, like later on in the movie, when the guy is getting a gun, he's like, there's enough bullets in here to kill an army. I think that's a direct, I think it's either direct quote or like a play on a quote that Peter says, I think. But anyway,
is Peter the really cute white boy from Dawn of the Dead?
No, that's Flyboy. That's my man. You're talking. You like Roger. That's the real little one.
He's
the one that dies.
Well,
I mean, Steven Steven does too, but
Steven, Steven's the one in the elevator with the green face.
Yeah, that's my boyfriend.
He is bae, but Roger, is that his name? He is just so, he's got like a little British accent or something too, doesn't he? Or
no, but I can tell you right now,
maybe
no.
New Jersey, maybe it's like New Jersey or something.
It's not that.
Sorry, British or New Jersey are totally different. He doesn't sound the rest of like the same as them.
I never noticed that, and I've watched it like 400 times.
Yeah,
but
he's got a dialect. He's got something. He sounds.
Well, they're all alive still, except for David, the guy that played Flyboy. He's like in really poor health and can't go to like conventions and stuff anymore. And I'm really sad because I don't care about meeting Ken Foree because I would do it, but I'd also ask him, why do you decide to be in every movie?
Why are you in every movie ever? Well, you know what though, because he can be at that point. But because
he's made some poor decisions, but
at the end of the day too,
funny
social injustices and what's the word I'm looking for? Representation. He was what studios liked at that time. So
well, also, I mean, he is like, it's very progressive in 1978 to have a black person
100%.
live.
100%. But yeah, he isn't like, he was literally like, if there was a horror movie and there was a black man in the movie, it was probably him.
Yeah. So anyway, my point is though that I'll probably never get to meet Flyboy, and I'm very upset about it because it's really not. People are saying he made it happen. Well, he did make it happen because he was greedy, but he didn't like mean to start shit.
Right.
Like, give him a goddamn break. And also, he's the best zombie ever. So, like, give him a fucking break.
I don't know. I like the nurse better. Sorry, I know you don't, but I do.
I fucking hate her so much. She's such a bad. Oh, gross. Anyway, back to this movie.
Back to this. So then, after Pete gets his throat slit with his post-sex bathroom pee break, and then Mary dies, I think his name is Chris or her name is Chris. Either way, it's the band member that looks like Kaja Gugu. And I was so confused. Does this character get their eye bitten out or was it stabbed?
Yeah, was she the one laying in bed?
Someone just rolls over and like they're like,
yeah, that's the one that looks like Dorinda to me, but like
that's Kaja Gugu to me.
Well, she has that blonde hair, so
and black roots. So it's Dorinda, Kaja Gugu, or it is Romy from Prom
Michelle.
So then right after that scene is when we get Brother Hulk. As I called him Brother Hulk the whole movie. He's asking for the killing to stop and saying they lived here peacefully for years. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing we see
living a real nice life.
Yeah, real nice. I don't know what they've been eating, batteries. But then we see Brother Hulk's brother. I think his name is Sonny. I think Pizza Face's name is Sonny.
I don't care. So.
Sonny gets shot 5 times. And I'm not sure who shoots him. If
Rob, I think Rob comes in.
Bob, you mean?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Bob, shoots him with a shotgun 5 times. Yeah,
he comes in. That's when he's saying because he's radioing that old guy. Yeah. And he's like, because he goes, I've got enough bullets to kill an army. And then he's like, you got to come here. And the old guy goes, I've only got a handgun. That's not good. I mean, okay.
So Bob shoots Sonny 5 times, and then he stands up. And then after Brother Hulk just gave his speech, he flings an axe across the whole factory.
Oh my God, that was insane.
And does it hit him in the head or not?
Yeah, it does. It goes straight into his forehead. He should have died.
He should have died. Okay, thank you.
See, it also already there was something else that happened to him.
It knocked him off a balcony for 50 feet, and he fell down.
I was thinking something else happened.
I really feel like though the axe, I thought that when we see him fall off this balcony, I felt like the axe was wedged into his forehead.
It was.
But then later on.
It totally was 100% because I was like, how did you live through that?
Right. So then we see him later on struggling on the ground. There's no axe around him. There's no axe wound. There's no blood on his face. Okay.
The axe definitely hit him.
Okay, cool. I was just because the whole movie, I'm like, did you die? Did you not die? Who killed you? What happened? Wait, you got slit. You got your carotid slit. You're still alive 40 years later. Anyway. So then right after that, the mom somehow gets thrown into the fire, and Brother Hulk is so not happy when he finds her burnt to a crisp in the fire.
Oh.
Then some girl, I don't know which girl it is. I don't know if it's Susie or Carrie's dead. It might be Susie. I don't know. Like, she's just sitting there. She's like, hey, 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 hey. And then, like, this giant hook, like, flies across the factory on a chain right through the chest. And her screaming and whining is very porn star-esque to me and annoying. And bye, I'm glad she died. But her death was too long. But I don't know who she was. And I guess Brother Hulk is on a rampage right now. He's just killing everybody, right?
Yeah. But, like, there are not many people left.
No, this is it. Yeah. So then the rescue helicopter shows up, and while that shows up, first thing I noticed was it's just a helicopter, except it says rescue in red marker duct taped to the side on a sticker. Like, it's like literally like a sticker that says rescuing children's red rum handwriting on the side of it. But while it's trying to land, and I think Bob. And I think John's still alive because John's clearly flying the goddamn helicopter. And there's got to be a girl, I think. But Bob and John
I think it's Susie's.
I think Susie is the one. So yeah, Bob and Susie are still alive. Oh yeah, yes. I don't know who got hooked. We said we didn't know their names.
Again, I think Susie, because I heard her name enough. I think that she
is the one that lives.
Yeah.
And Bob likes Susie. That makes sense. So while Bob and Susie are running towards the helicopter, then Pizza Face gets killed by this silver-haired sheriff.
Mm-hmm. Whatever he is.
Right. I don't know his name. Or if that's Sonny. If Pizza Face is Sonny again, I don't even know all the mutant children. It's too dark. It's too many people. And then, while they're all running to the helicopter, Brother Hulk gets his arm shot off by John, because John comes in after he lands the helicopter to like meet them as he's reaching through the stairs, and he has like a cross necklace in his hand or something, and then the girl picks it up from his blown off hand, and she's like, oh. And I'm like, well, that's not the necklace of Saint Sebastian, so I don't know why you're so obsessed with this necklace. Did you get the relevance of that at all? Like,
no.
Like, I don't know whose necklace that was and what that meant. But then, everybody runs to the helicopter. They fly away. Brother Hulk grabs a shovel, sticks it in the fire, sears his arm, and literally that's the credits. Right? Did I miss anything? Like, that's it.
And that's it.
So, yeah. 18 deaths. Don't know people's names. Very dark. Very Swedish, dubbed.
I'm
gonna give it a 2.25.
What?
Yeah. I didn't hate it.
I really 2.25.
I mean, because watching it, because I have watched it twice. Closely together, and when you start to know at least more what's happening, I still don't know their names after 2 times that I've seen it, but I at least recognize them different from other bleach blonde or brunette spiky haired people. I can at least tell who is who. I just think it's hilarious because they always have their coats on. And then they just like throw them off when they go indoors, but they're wearing thongs and they're like, it's so cold. And I'm like, put your fucking mink coat back on. I'm like, and like, it's just so stupid and silly. And I do like, it's like Hills Have Eyes, but there's a little more heart to it. I felt like Hills Have Eyes is supposed, in Wrong Turn, for example, is supposed to be chaotic and messy and gory and just chaos. But this Brother Hulk, whatever his name is, I thought you said his name was Charles or something.
Yeah, I think so.
But whatever his name is,
I don't know.
Whatever his name is, I want Charles in charge of me. But he it wasn't just some like mutated, inbred anything. He still had a heart. He still like it. You know what I mean? it has more going to it than a first time watch. The hardest thing about watching this movie, honestly, it's not the dubbing, it's just how dark it is.
No, I agree.
Being
I
shot
agree.
on video is dark.
I can deal. I've seen so many Italian and French movies, for that matter, that are dubbed. The only thing I can't stand ever is that Bob character, the little boy that's in a House by the Cemetery.
Oh,
I hate him. He's in like so many Italian movies and he sucks. But and his voice is always dubbed by what sounds like a woman trying to talk like a child.
I mean, he looks like Charlie Bucket.
That and okay,
too.
besides that, I can't stand that one, and I can't stand well, obviously Mano Sans Fate, but so poorly dubbed.
Yes, Emily and I in high school bought pipes, and
oh my God, don't my parents listen to this?
Oh, well, I already started it.
Well, I'm not going to send them this one. So
mine was blue and green and hers was pink, and hers was you're smiling at Manos and mine's was what was
Torgo.
Yes. Torgo.
Yeah, we decided we would be potheads, and it only lasted like a month.
It didn't even last a month. Like,
well, I made a CD about it.
Yeah,
and everything.
it was one of those glass pipes. The more you smoke, the darker the colors get, or more vibrant the colors get.
Oh yeah.
And mine was like still clear. I mean, like, yeah, your parents can hear this. We didn't even use those. I mean, we like twice. I mean, for me, like nothing. Like it was such a waste of money. It was like $70 for those little like.
Oh my God, I know. And then we were just like, we did it like once or twice, and we were like, this is stupid.
Like I don't even know where mine went. I think I gave it to my roommate in college.
I gave mine to Tyler Hartman.
But like, yeah, like the colors never changed. We did not even use it because at the end of the day, I'm too old that I want to say. I don't like pot. I've never liked pot.
I don't either. I never liked it either.
I just want it to end.
And that's not just, I'm probably not going to let my parents listen to this one regardless.
No, let them listen. They love us.
I do not like it at all.
Hey, Becky and Doy, I love you.
I have so like many friends that love it, and I just do not get it.
People that want to love it. People
I don't know. I'm cool with like.
I'm okay with legalizing it. I'm ready to legalize it, whatever, tax it, legalize it, do whatevs. But I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna buy it unless it's like something like a oil or something that can help my neck.
Well, I like the oils. I like the
like
CBD stuff. But yeah, I don't like the high. Like I want it to end. I want it for 20 minutes, but then it lasts for like 4 hours, and I'm like,
yeah, no, I never.
I can only eat so many pizza rolls in one sitting, and that's pushed me to the edge of over 80 in one sitting before. So
yeah,
I can't.
No, it's not. Not a good one.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it 2.25.
I'm gonna give it 0.25.
So hey, this is our biggest differentiated movie or whatever the word is that we've recorded yet. I am shocked. Like, I'll bring you around.
You know what?
You brought me around on Evil Laugh, and you've brought me around with something else. I will keep watching this, and I will bring you around to at least a half star on this some point.
Well, I also think that today we can give our viewers a little treat and let them know what we're going to be talking about next. I think it'd be a little treat for our fans.
Or our next movie, or our next event.
The next episode.
Oh, well, the next episode is going to be
Blood Sisters.
I have to say, it's going to continue on within the month of blood, or blood month, and Blood Sisters, definitely.
So we're not really ever going to do that, but just, for having to listen to this and where no one knows anything, and we don't know anybody's names, get ready for Blood Sisters. That's our one time that we'll give it away.
All right.
Give it away now.
So I will say stay gagged on avalanches.
Stay gagged on crap. What is that? Crap. What shit? What's that?
I'm not gagged on that at all.
What's hairspray?
Aquanet.
Yes. Stay gagged on Aquanet, which was a lot in that movie. Stay gagged on that axe that doesn't work.
And
that axe that can like go between your forehead and you still don't die. So
hells yeah. Stay gagged on spandex. Stay gagged on leotards. Stay gagged on Kaja Goo Goo, bitch.
stay gagged on easy action. They're not bad. And you'll see because that's going to be our outro music. Okay. Bye, guys.
See ya. Ka-cha-cha.
I'm too shy.
The horror you fear, you can't let it go. It's already there. You're almost too slow. It's getting late. It's getting dark. An evil mind is making its mark. It's getting close. It's coming near. We are the singer.
Get down, get down. A nice close shot, a close shot.
So beautiful where it's there ain't no return, there ain't no way back. The fire will burn till the final attack. It's getting late.
Keep it going, keep it going. Keep it together, please. You're getting...
How can he run around shouting like that when the camera's turning?
They're not recording sound, just using playback.
Uh-huh.
Cut! What are you doing? What's going on? What's that?
It's an avalanche.